Hello, my name is String from GG2String, and welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be another sort of cosplay sort of adaptation in Skyrim Special Edition. This series is one in which I try to emulate other gaming universes that I love inside of Skyrim without breaking the lore of the Elder Scrolls universe, another universe that I love. Keeping in mind the mod list below being one that I use always for these builds. Today we will be cosplaying the Alliance's leader and King of Stormwind, Anduin Wrynn. Anduin Wrynn is a priest of the Church of the Holy Light, as well as a diplomatic, peaceful, and kind-hearted person. If you want to see a lore video about Anduin Wrynn, which is a single character, so I can go super in-depth into his personal lore, stay tuned and subscribe for Friday's video. So let us get right on with the build, beginning with the aesthetic. So for the race, you can choose any of the following human races: Breton, Nord, or Imperial, and I personally did Imperial for mine because of the boost to Restoration, Enchanting, One-Handed, and Heavy Armor. Picking a Breton would result in a boost to Speech, Restoration, Illusion, and Alteration, but Speech and Alteration are less used skills for this build. Being a Nord would only result in bonuses to One-Handed and Speech, but it would help with the pale skin, the blue eyes, and the blonde hair that is required for this build. There are many sets of clothing you can use, either being the blue fine clothing variants, either one of the two, the fur collar or the thinner variant, as well as the blue merchant clothes with the matching pair of shoes, so either the fine shoes or the merchant's boots, as well as any pair of gloves, rings, and necklaces to go along with that. And then when you are going to be using heavy armor, for like if you're fighting without a companion or fighting against the undead, you can use either the Dawnguard heavy armor, the wolf armor from the companion's questline, or many of the more regal steel-based armor from the immersive armors mod, like the heroic imperial armor without the helmet, or the blue and gray version of the spellbinder armor, so the runic spellbinder armor without the helmet, and that is my personal choice for my build. You will also want a dagger with you at all time, either iron, steel, or silver, as well as the Daedric artifact Dawnbreaker, which is a which is a sword forged with the power of Meridia's holy light. Next up will be the skills, spells, and standing stone required to play this build. So the skills necessary for this build are Illusion, Restoration, Alteration, Enchanting, Heavy Armor, One-Handed, and Speech. Restoration and Illusion are important for spells that are very reminiscent of priests from the Warcraft universe. Heavy Armor and One-Handed are for Anduin when he is in the thick of battle. And Speech is to roleplay him in his extremely diplomatic nature, with Alteration and Enchanting helping for late game viability for this build. I personally did not use smithing, but you can add smithing to help more with the late game viability of this build. As for stats, you're going to want to use a stat spread that prioritizes health to magicka to stamina, with 3 points health to every 2 points magicka to every 1 point stamina. For the standing stone, you can use either the Apprentice or the Lord Stone. Again, I have Andromeda Standing Stones of Skyrim, so here's what the stones will let you do. So with the mod, the Apprentice Stone will let you cast spells constantly to keep healthy and keep doing plenty of damage, and the Lord Stone being great thematically, or if you decide to focus more heavily on the one-handed aspect of the build. For the spells, you're going to want, from Alteration, you can use any flesh spells and Okado's Recital. From Illusion, you are going to want Backlash, Dispel Magic, Enslave the Weak, Mind Control, Mind Vision, and Thought Steal, as well as the Calm Fury and Frenzy spells if you wish more to roleplay the mind control aspects of priests from the Warcraft universe. For Restoration, you can have any spells that do healing to you, healing to others, the circles, as well as Ruin, Sealed Resolve, and Channel Energies, which will let you buff your companion if you choose to travel with one, or just buff allies in the Civil War questline. Once you become a master in Illusion and Restoration and complete the ritual spells, you can use Infinite Light, God Form, and King's Heart in Restoration to keep with the cosplay role-playing aspect, as well as become extra powerful. And you are going to want Call to Arms from Illusion. Next, we are going to go over the perks for all of your skills. So as far as perks go, there are a lot of skills, so I'm going to run through the ones with the least investment first and then get into the heavier investment skills next. So both speech and heavy armor, you are going to only take both of their mastery perks, so speech mastery and heavy armor mastery 2 of 2, and then alteration, you're only going to take alteration mastery 2 of 2, as well as alteration dual casting. Next, we are going to do enchanting, where you want to take all of enchanting mastery, then go up the second from the right branch all the way up to miracle. And for the miracle, you're going to want to place it on either a ring or a necklace. As for illusion, you're going to want illusion dual mastery, illusion dual casting, imposing presence, and then take commanding presence, and in that tree follow it all the way up to protect your god. Next is one-handed, where you're going to take both ranks of one-handed mastery, then go up the far left to take both furious strength and overrun, and then take all the sword perks up to judgment, but avoid wandering warrior. Do not take dagger perks or dual wielding perks, because your dagger is sort of just for cosplaying parts, and the dual wielding is not something you're going to be doing. So finally, the most important skill to this build, restoration, because Anduin is quite obviously a priest of the Holy Light. So for restoration, you're going to want restoration mastery, both of the perks. You're going to want restoration dual casting. You're going to want to take spirit tutors and sacred guardian from the right branch. Then you're going to want to go up the middle branch, taking descending light, and then follow the right branch from that middle branch for overflowing cup and under my wings. And then you're going to go straight up the middle branch, taking warrior's flame, sacred flame, and battle cleric. And finally, you're going to go up the leftmost branch for edgewalker and respite. But most importantly, the next 3 perks, false light, lightwalker, and in thy name. Those are most important because of the gameplay aspects, which will be next. So before I go on to any actual gameplay aspects, we're going to go into the quest lines that you need to participate in. So, quest lines for cosplaying a character similar to Anduin Wrynn from the World of Warcraft universe, or just Warcraft universe. The most important 3 quest lines that you need to do are the College of Winterhold quest line, the Civil War quest line, allying with the Imperials, and the Companions quest line. However, you will kill yourself of the Werewolf Curse. You should do the main questline in the Dragonborn DLC, as well as the Dawnguard DLC siding with the Dawnguard. You will not be doing the Thieves Guild or the Dark Brotherhood with this build. So, you can use Companions, and I do encourage it. And if you do choose to become or use a companion, you should either choose like an Elven Assassin that could be similar to someone like Valera Sanguinar, or any of the companions from the Companions, except you do not want to cure them of their curse, because #Worgen friends, am I right? So you will normally want to fight in your fine clothes or your merchant's clothing, whatever variant of aesthetic you decided to use, that you want to keep enchanted with Fortify Restoration and Magicka Regen, as well as normal Fortify Restoration to have double the Fortify Restorations on it. And you want to keep yourself and your ally healed while using the False Light perk to dish out holy damage on your enemies. So that is where the priest gameplay from the Warcraft universe really comes into effect, is using spells that are meant to heal yourself and heal your allies. And they will heal yourself and heal your allies. But you will also be able to use that same holy power given to you to heal others, to hurt those who would wish you and your allies harm. You can also use illusion magic to force your enemies to do your dirty work for you by mind controlling them, or just keep enemy spellcasters useless with your silences and dispel magics, and stuff like that, which will also play into how a priest from the Warcraft universe works. So Anduin is not a shadow priest, so you're not going to want to take any of the spells that do death or disease damage. So, if you find yourself traveling without a companion now, you can switch to your heavy armor of choice. Again, mine is the runic spellbinder armor, without the helmet, as well as use Dawnbreaker and keep your other hand open for restoration and illusion spells. Again, to either keep yourself safe or do damage to your enemies or just cause chaos amongst the battlefield. So for enchantments on your rings, necklaces, gloves, boots, or whatever else you have, depending on the situation and aesthetic you decided to go with, you should focus on fortifying restoration if you are on your light armor, or like your clothing type gear. And if you're on your heavy gear, you're going to want to fortify one-handed, fortify heavy armor, and fortify health. No matter what the situation is on either of them, you should have stuff that fortifies magicka and magicka regen as well. Another important role-playing thing to note when playing Anduin Wrynn in Skyrim is to keep in mind that you want to be very, very diplomatic, very kind, very peaceful. You only want to take fights when absolutely threatened by it. So I think that should about do it for me. If you want to see a lore video about Anduin Wrynn again, which is a single character, so I'll be going super in depth on his personal lore, stay tuned for Friday's video. Subscribe and leave a like if you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, as well as leave comments down below for anything I may have forgotten. Any future ideas you want to see done, or improvements I can make, can also be commented down in this comment section down below. For now, this has been String from my channel at GG2String. Thank you so much for watching, and peace.